Ahead of his Formula 1 comeback with Mercedes in 2010, Michael Schumacher spent 3 days testing a GP2 car at Jerez. In Schumacher's own words, the purpose of the test was to make sure his senses were on full alert after 3 years away from the cockpit. It was also to test his neck was back to full strength, after a lingering injury prevented him from standing in for Felipe Massa at Ferrari in 2009, although Schumacher declared that issue was long gone and that he knew it wouldn't cause him problems. Testing restrictions meant Schumacher could not test an F1 car until pre-season formally kicked off, meaning the feeder series car was the best alternative. At the time, the cornering and braking forces of a GP2 car were around 1G less than those in F1, and Mercedes team boss Ross Brawn called it the closest comparison you can get. With the GP2 car not featuring power steering like drivers have in F1, it still offered Schumacher a useful physical challenge after his time away from racing. The test was also of use to GP2, with Schumacher driving the series development car, evaluating suspension configurations and updated components for its 2011 design. Despite mixed weather limiting his running on the first 2 days, Schumacher completed over 1,100 kilometres during the 3 days of testing, and by the end he was only 4/10 adrift of the GP2 lap record. That was set 2 years earlier by Kamui Kobayashi, but it was using softer tyres, and Schumacher's time was 6/10 faster than the best lap set on comparable tyres during 2009. However, he did have the benefit of using tyre warmers, which are banned in the feeder series. Schumacher said the test went better than he expected, adding that he felt comfortable so quickly in the car it was like he had never been away. Once the weather had settled down and the key development work for GP2 was complete, Schumacher was even able to complete a Formula 1 race distance on the final day, which left him eager to get behind the wheel of his Mercedes the following month at Valencia. It also increased the hype around his F1 return, if that was possible, prompting a belief inside and outside the Mercedes team that an 8th World Championship could be possible. Of course, we know how that played out. The 2010 Mercedes was little more than an underdeveloped Brawn BGP 002, following the manufacturer's late takeover of the 2009 champion, and it was only the 4th fastest car on the grid. Over the course of the season, Schumacher's ultimate pace was a fraction adrift of his teammate Nico Rosberg, and his best results of the year were 3 4th places on his way to 9th in the championship, scoring 72 points to Rosberg's 142. He was only 13 points behind Rosberg in 2011 as they finished 7th and 8th in the standings, but his average pace deficit to his younger countrymen increased as Mercedes fell further adrift of the front of the field. Schumacher's final season in 2012 yielded the only podium finish of his F1 comeback with 3rd at Valencia, but he slid to 13th in the standings, bowing out at the end of the year to make way for surprise new signing Lewis Hamilton.